Hello everyone, in this video I'll show you how to cheese the Hollow Crow boss in Lords of the Fallen. So, you can summon Pieta for this, which makes it a little bit easier as she has a area of effect heal, and there's some attacks in this that will deal a lot of damage that are kind of hard to read, so it's good to have her around. Now what we want to do is when we see this ghost floating around, we're going to use our umbral lamp to soul flay her and then get as many attacks in as you can. This is going to be really our best defense against beating this boss, as you don't want to go into umbral just yet, so you have to use your umbral lamp, take her out. Use a fire salt if you have it, or ignite salts, as this is a boss that's really weak to all types of fire damage, and I find that it works out really well. Eventually you'll see this ghost pop back in, and again, same thing, just rip out its soul and attack. Eventually you'll get to a point where it goes red, and then you can use the lamp to take out 1/3 of its health bar there, and this will also clear out all the enemies, which is really nice, because sometimes it'll get a bit overwhelming during the Hollow Crow fight. So during this next part, it's kind of similar to the Light Reaper fight that we have later on, where we just have to avoid its attacks. There's nothing we can do to damage it here. That little ghost is not floating around, so what we're going to do is run around. Don't get too close. As you can see, that range right there, that's going to be an attack that it does frequently. I was trying to pull Pieta back, because Pieta just kept getting hit by everything and wasn't doing a very good job of dodging. So to keep your summon alive, just try to pull her back to the backside of the map. Don't know why that was not working too well. It worked out a little bit later on, but eventually the Hollow Crow will get bored of these attacks and then release the Spirit Girl back to the world. You'll notice that there'll be more enemies spawning this time around whenever this happens. And here she comes. The Hollow Crow is resummoning her, so again, bring out the Umbral Lamp and do your thing. So this can be really easily done whenever you can get close to her. As you saw there, Pieta did that area of effect heal. It'll heal her and your character, so that's really nice, as it keeps the survivability high on this. Now, this is a good area to use two dual wielding weapons, or just whatever way you can swing your weapon the widest. So unattaching that two-handed in your weapon, you're able to swing it a little bit wider and hit a lot of these enemies. Pieta came through clutch again with that heal there. This can keep your heals full, which is really useful during this fight. Now I find that Divine Arms works pretty well in this fight too, since there is a large number of enemies that are floating around, and the sword can easily start to damage them. So here we go, we got the second phase done, so it's going to clear out all the enemies once again, making this a lot easier. So fire damage being your best friend here, and just knowing the way to go about these attacks. Some of these attacks are really strong, so you have to be mindful of them. Don't get too close to the Hollow Crow. Try to pull your summon away. This phase is just kind of boring overall. It's just about surviving, so do what you can to keep out of its attacks. And eventually the Ghost Girl will come back, so if you're in Umbral, you can just get straight to attacking. I think the Divine Arms work really well with clearing out a lot of the enemies, as well as taking out the Hollow Crow. So whatever spells you got, use them. Whenever this ring of ice comes inwards, you gotta roll with it and stay out of the range of its attacks, or else you'll get hurt pretty bad. And this is all about just keeping your health as high as possible. During this final phase, on my first playthrough, I have a video of it. It's pretty fun to go watch if you want to go check that out. I survived with like 1 health point for the entire last phase, and I don't know how I made it out alive, but if you dodge well, you can stay alive pretty easily. So I think that the Divine Arms made it a lot easier. I don't normally go with magic builds, but I want to try this out for this fight, and it works flawlessly. So use your heals whenever you need them. Stay in the ring of ice. It's really just about attrition here. Take down the enemies as you can, as they just keep spawning and spawning and spawning. So it can get a little bit overwhelming as they start to pile up, but also watch out, there's the Kinrangr Guardian Folards there, so they're a bit challenging to stay out of, and as you see, it bursted my health completely to nil. So don't get hit by them, it can hurt a lot. But swinging at her one more time took her out, and this is where things get a little bit serious, because you do have to land 1 hit on the Hollow Crow. So stay mindful of where its icicles are going. Dodge, roll, spam if you need to. This will keep you alive. Use any Brio Stones if you have them, just to keep your health full and just stay out of the way of the ice. Then the Hollow Crow will get out of its nest. It drops its head, and what we do here is a big old stabby stab, making it reminiscent of Astel, Natural Born of the Void from Elden Ring. I think the skull phase is pretty cool, but that's how you take down the Hollow Crow easily. Cheese strategy, Lords of the Fallen. Thank you so much for watching.